guys. Everyone except our speakers will be on mute, and I'll try to not mute myself this time. If you have any questions or comments, please use the question and answer feature, the Q&A feature that you'll find on your screen. And we'll have someone monitoring all of these so we can do our best to answer those questions for you. And we'll be sharing a recording of this program with everyone. So keep an eye out for your emails tomorrow. And I do believe within this, we're going to have a poll as well. So keep your fingers ready for that. Now, to kick things off, we have our first guest with us. It's Matt Gibson, the president and CEO of the Kentucky Derby Festival. And I understand, Matt, that you have been logging a few miles of your own out there on the road. Is that right? Or have you been running inside?
That's correct, Kirby. I've been putting in quite a few miles, and I never would have thought that this would be the space where I was getting in shape. But once this all locked down on us, I started logging some miles actually after I experienced COVID myself, and I haven't stopped since. So it's been outstanding. Thank you, Kirby, and thanks to everyone for joining us for our first event of 2021. Like many over this past year, like I was saying, getting outside and walking or running has become a great outlet and a way to help me stay active and definitely in shape. Several of our staff, including myself, actually competed and completed our first mini marathon by running it virtually in 2020. I would have never thought in my 20 years working here at the organization that I'd actually be able to get involved in one of our events like that. So it was a great experience. There's no better way to prepare to run the Humana Kentucky Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon than with the Norton Sports Health Training Program. I certainly logged into one of our programs, and it's what's helped me actually build up my running miles. And over the next 15 weeks, we hope you'll take full advantage of that same thing with their free and virtual program. It's customized for both walkers and runners on every level, and it's what helped me actually get to where I was running and not just measuring my walking steps between some of the mailboxes in my neighborhood. Whether this is your first race or just one of many, this program will help make your race experience safe and successful. We appreciate all those who stuck with us in 2020 and who are planning to run with us again in 2021. I want to personally thank you for your support of the Derby Festival and our races. This doesn't happen without your support. And we've gotten so much great feedback from those who are new to the program and those who have been with us for many, many years about the things that we're undertaking for this year. While the 2021 races will be different, there will still be some of the same Derby Festival spirit that our participants have come to know and love. I wish you all the best of luck in training in the coming weeks, and we'll be cheering you on from the finish and the sidelines.
All right, Matt, well, keep up the good work, okay?
I'll do my best.
Don't let up. We need you out there. And you'll be much happier if you actually do all that training, and you know how that goes, right? Yeah. All right, so our next panelist is Stephanie Fish with Norton Sports Health. And Stephanie has been leading our training program for 4 whole years. She's also a race ambassador for the Kentucky Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon, and that was back in 2016. And she's an official pacer, or she was an official pacer for the Mini Marathon in 2017. I think that would be really cool to do that one day. She is a certified yoga instructor, a certified health coach, and she is also a high school cross country coach, and she serves as an event coordinator for Norton Sports Health and the Norton Healthcare Foundation. Plus, that's not all, she is a Louisville Land Sharks multi-sport board member. So Stephanie is joining us from Norton Sports Health Performance Center, which is just down the hallway from where I am right now. And she's standing on the turf. Stephanie, we know things are going to look a little different this year. I think we're going to say that a lot throughout this little kickoff. But can you tell us what you expect from this year's training program? Because I think a lot of us have different questions on what it's going to be like and how to stay motivated when we're kind of training on our own.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am here at the Norton Sports Performance Center. Hopefully everyone can see and hear me okay. Everything's pretty much so frozen from my end. So hopefully everybody's good to see me. But yeah, I'm here on the turf. As you can see, there is a very large space here, a lot of equipment. And you just missed a big giant baseball practice here. So that was really fun too. Just a few things on the training program. So obviously we have Facebook page, which is going to be the best way to stay updated. If you don't have Facebook, don't worry. It is still a public page and more like a website. So it's just nortontrainingtips.com, and that's where you can get your tips and tricks. We will highlight run locations there and also post the upcoming Tuesday talks, which will cover different topics each week with special guests. And there you can also keep us updated on your weekly progress, on your weekly runs, and you can post selfies and hashtag that C Norton Run, and then we'll know that you're staying accountable, staying motivated, and staying moving. Now, we understand the motivation can be a little hard right now. Maybe you're still in quarantine. Maybe you're still just trying to avoid people, but just a couple things to help you stay motivated might be, if you can safely run with a buddy, maybe you meet up with a buddy and you run safely, socially distanced, masked. That'll always help you if you have someone to keep you accountable. And also, I find it easier if you kind of plan out your week. What days are you going to run? How many miles are you going to do on that day? And just plan it out, because then you look on Tuesday and you see that Tuesday you got to run 3 miles. You can check mark it off and get it done. And then another easy thing, whether you're working out in the evening or the morning, lay out your workout clothes, put out your gym clothes, put out your gym shoes and your running attire. And then you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to go get this done. I'm going to go get that run and get it done. So make sure you join our very supportive Facebook community. Again, it's nortontrainingtips.com for your tips and tricks on that Facebook page. And we'll all be there for you. I'll be there for you. And I hope to see you every Tuesday at noon. And you can get a lot of information that way.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. And I have a little tip and trick because I've been training for many, many years myself. One of the things I do is I write it into my calendar. So it becomes like a little part-time job for the next 3.5, 4 months. I know every day what I need to do. And, you know, I got to be flexible sometimes, but really that makes you accountable too if you've got it on your calendar. So it's not quite so easy to blow it off. All right. So now,
absolutely. If it's there for you to check mark, then you might be more likely to check mark it off.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, Steph. We'll see you on Tuesdays. Now, for all of you who are watching, thank you again for being here. We really, really enjoy having you here for our big kickoff. But we have a poll and we need your help to answer a few questions. This will be popping up on your screen, this little poll, and we'll give everyone a few moments to answer. All right. So there it is. What are you most excited to learn about in this year's training program? And here's the other great part about this. You don't have to pick just one. You can choose as many things as you like. So go ahead and take a few moments to think about what you're really excited about. And we will let you know the answers to our poll in just a bit. Oh, there we go. There we have the answers to our poll. So it looks like you're really looking forward to learning more about increasing your mileage. You're pretty much interested in everything, but increasing your pace. A lot of you want to run it faster than you did last year. And nutrition and injury prevention are always really important because you got to fuel yourself right and you don't want to break down. All right, so let's move on now. This great program, would not exist without the support of our official race training partner and medical provider, Norton Sports Health. The team will provide tips and advice throughout the 15-week program. And one of the things I like about this is that this is information that you can carry on for a lifetime, because for a lot of people, this is going to become a wonderful, very positive lifestyle change. And we're lucky to have with us right now, Dr. Robin Curry, who's joining us. Dr. Curry currently is a team physician for Bellarmine University, Jefferson County Public Schools, and Louisville Collegiate School, and she previously served as a team physician for the University of Louisville. She is also an avid runner and serves as medical co-director for Ironman Louisville and the Norton Sports Health Training Team. Dr. Curry has also served on the board of directors for Girls on the Run Louisville, which is a great program to get kids involved. So Dr. Curry, take it away.
All right, so first of all, we're really excited with our Norton Sports Health team to be a part of this program again. You know, we really look forward to getting you as the athlete to the finish line and also to get you to the finish line safely. So that's our number one goal. You know, we're here for you throughout your course, for those of you that have been running a long time and those of you that are new to running, to make sure that we get you there, you know, with the right training program that's going to get you there in the safest way possible. So we're happy again to be a part of this program, and we look forward to navigating this. It looks different this year, but I think the end result will be the same, and I think everybody will be very excited, you know, to see themselves hit those goals and move forward from there. So I think one thing, a question that maybe had come up as far as thinking about certain patient populations or runners in general, and something that I'm passionate about are new moms, and so new moms getting back into running. So that's one thing that I, you know, really wanted to talk about today. And hopefully there are a lot of new moms out there, and I've been there myself, have 3 little girls, so have navigated that road to get back into running, and I've been a runner for a long time. So when we think about new moms and appropriate ways to get back to running, number one is making sure that you get approval from your obstetrician to make sure that it's safe for you to get back to running. Most moms can get back around 6 weeks, and it's different for everybody, but I always say make sure that you have the okay from your doctor before you get back into that exercise program. The second thing is to really develop a good strength training program. And so thinking about really working on that core strength, working on the pelvic floor, which is something in women that we probably don't pay enough attention to. But if you have aches and pains along the way, you know, a physical therapist can really be your best friend, especially as a woman getting back into activity. And lastly, just be patient with yourself, returning to running. Once you've had children, it's not an easy road to get back there. And you have to realize that you're not going to be, you know, maybe the same as you were before you got pregnant, but it's okay. And it takes time. And so we want you to enjoy that process and then incorporate your child. Get, you know, if you can get a running stroller, that's great. Bring that child with you and show those, you know, show your children those good habits, those good healthy habits of getting into running and exercising. And that's something that they'll carry with them for the rest of their life. But we're excited to be a part of this program and to continue the tradition of making sure that everybody has a good, safe, healthy journey with a training program.
All right, Dr. Curry, anything else, or is that a wrap?
That's a wrap. That's
all right, thank you. Great advice. I didn't want to cut you off because I was listening carefully to everything you were saying. Our next guest is Dr. Stevenson, who is a team physician for Bellarmine University and Fern Creek High School. He's also served as team physician for several schools in Cincinnati, Ohio, including Xavier University, and he's been on the medical staff for the Cincinnati Reds and the U.S. Olympic boxing team last chance qualifier. Dr. Stevenson serves as medical co-director from the Ironman Louisville, and he knows a lot about why avoiding injury in the first place is so very important. I'm going to be listening carefully to this. So what are some of the best practices runners can do to prevent injury?
Sure, great. Yeah, happy to be a part of this training program again. Many years in here, and we enjoyed every time being able to take care of the athletes as you're starting out, whether you're a beginner or whether you're advanced and looking to improve upon your running time. So I echo Dr. Curry's comments on being proud and happy to be a part. So obviously, one of the biggest questions is, look, maybe I'm a beginner. I haven't run before. I haven't done a walk, jog, mix, whatever it may be. How do I prevent myself from getting injured? Because if we get injured, well, we can't complete our goals. And injuries can happen. You know, that's why we developed this program, I think, to help folks try to progressively advance from whatever level that may be. I think proper progression really prevents a lot of the more problematic injuries. So that's why following this training program is very important. I think you've taken the first step if you've signed up and new to running, because we look at different facets of getting in shape. One is in building your cardio endurance, being able to do hold up to the demands of exercise, especially running. So starting slow and advancing slowly. We look at flexibility. I think that's incorporated in part of the workout as well, developing good flexibility, stretching, whether it's yoga, just incorporating that can be helpful for injury prevention. And then looking at cross training, that's part of the program as well too. You're going to get into this weeks and weeks in, and you're going to get sick of running to a certain extent. So being able to do other things to keep that cardio endurance up and be able to change it up. So following a good progressive plan is really the best way to prevent injury. And that's what this program's here for.
So follow the program, it sounds like.
I believe in it.
Don't think you know more. Not you, but those of us who are running.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. That was great information. We really appreciate it. And so also joining us today, we have Elliot Mattingly, the clinical co-director for Kentucky Orthopedic Rehab Team, CORT, in Bardstown, Kentucky. Now, he has earned a doctorate in physical therapy from Bellarmine University in Louisville and completed a residency with Select Medical Orthopedic in Louisville. Elliot is a board-certified orthopedic specialist, an avid runner and triathlete, completing over 25 half marathons and finishing Ironman Louisville, way to go, in 2016. He enjoys treating runners and helping them reach their goals. And in his free time, he likes to travel and spend time outdoors with his wife, Amanda, and his dogs. I hope I said this right. Aramis and Alistair?
You're close. It's Erasmus.
Erasmus.
Yeah. So
okay. Sorry
quick
about that.
side note,
Erasmus.
That's what my dad wanted to name me. So I'm very thankful that I was able to name my dog that instead of me. So yeah, that works out.
So give us some more information on what to do, how we can run after injury.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. It's a really hard question. And anytime you have an injury with running, it's a tricky battle because you feel like you want to get back as soon as you can. But sometimes pushing through that injury just makes it worse. And then you can't take time off because you've worked so hard to get trained. So it's really this negative cycle that you fall into. And so what you really have to do is you have to build a good team. If you have a good team around you with supportive physicians, supportive physical therapists, and supportive training partners, they're going to help you reach your goal, because sometimes rest is important, but a lot of times an active recovery is more important. So following the plan, we're not trying to run through pain. You're not trying to push through, because that a lot of times can lead to other injuries. Continuing building your strength and running very smart. Our bodies are intelligent. They tell us what's going on. They tell us what the problems are. And if you take the time to sit back and listen to them, then you're going to be successful. One of the things that runners have trouble with is trusting that their physical therapist or their physicians are going to help them get across the finish line, because they're afraid that we're going to tell them to stop running.
Mhm.
That's why we're active participants in this program, is because we want everybody to get across to the finish line. We want you to achieve that goal. So we're going to do everything you can to get back there. We have some tools like you see behind my shoulder here. We have the Alter G, and can you hear me still? Sorry. We have the Alter G, and that's a way that we can offload you while you run. And so you're still getting your miles in, you're still training, but hopefully doing it without pain. So there are a lot of different skills to get you back to running. It's just a matter of building up that good team and trusting those around you to help get you to the finish line.
So listening and trusting, and trying not to get injured in the first place.
Well, that's true too.
All right. Thank you, Elliot. We really appreciate that. Good information. So our final panelist is Chris Martini, race director for the Kentucky Derby Festival Mini Marathon. Chris, we know that the race is going to look different this year, but what can you tell us about the races? I know I've had some questions from some of the readers who have read my articles in the Career Journal. They want to know if they're going to wear masks, for instance, when they run.
Thanks, Kirby. Yeah, as we've said, overall, the race is going to look different with this year, but it's still going to have that same spirit of the Kentucky Derby Festival and the Humana Mini Marathon. The biggest change people are going to see first off is that the race will be over 4 days. What this means is, in order to have social distancing and have as many people as possible participating in the race, we decided to have the course available for 4 days. It'll be April 22nd through April 25th, with the mini marathon running all 4 days and the marathon running on April 24th. And what that'll mean is, when runners register, they'll have the opportunity to pick from a different corral. So we'll have a limited number of corrals. They'll go off every 15 minutes in a staggered start, where you show up and you begin running, you hit that timing mat, and your official pace starts. In order to avoid having that group staying together and any kind of those group dynamics that we don't want to have this year with COVID. So runners will have that chance to run and kind of run at their own pace. And at registration, they will be able to go in and select that day that works best for them of our available crowds. Regarding masks, we will have masks at the start and the finish line area, as well as at water stops and areas that you could have that congestion. We want to make sure people are being safe, staying socially distanced, and taking all the necessary precautions, but yet still getting out there and getting to run the race and enjoy the time outside and complete the 13.1 or the 26.2 miles to be a part of it. The other big difference we're going to see is the course is definitely going to look different. I know there have been a lot of questions about that. And this year, we'll be having a course that'll start and finish at Lynn Family Stadium, home of Louisville City FC and Racing Louisville FC. And we're really happy to partner with them on this. And along with that, we'll be using bike lanes and walking and running paths along the Ohio River to ensure that we can be open for 4 days. So those are some of the big differences you're going to see this year along the course. If you haven't registered yet, there's still plenty of time to register. We still have spots available across all of our days. You have to go to derbyfestivalmarathon.com and click on the Register Now tab to complete your registration and select that corral you want to be in. And while you're there, we want to make sure that you look the part and have all the great gear for the race this year. You see people like myself, Kirby, and Matt are wearing our training gear. And so you can go on the website, derbyfestivalmarathon.com, and purchase this gear, or also purchase our official 2021 May Marathon and Marathon gear. So when you're out there, not only are you participating with us, but you're looking the part as well. Sorry, Kirby, you're on mute.
No?
Sorry,
Okay.
Kirby, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and go over to our question and answer session, because I'm sure a lot of you have questions that have come up while you've been listening to what all of our great panelists have to say. So you can go in and you can just type in your questions, and then they're going to throw them over here to me, and we're going to figure out, well, we're going to answer them. That's what we're going to do. But I just wanted to say, Matt, I see you popped up here again. Did you want to pop on and say anything about merchandise, or?
Well,
so
I
how
know
we can-
everyone is excited about the training program shirt as well. And for those folks in the first 800 registered, they'll receive an email detailing that pickup and how they could get that shirt. As Chris was saying, you're wearing it, I'm wearing it, and he is. And it's great, high quality tech material. And sometimes there can be some confusion on who qualifies for the shirt. But if you selected a certain size and had that option when you registered for the program, you were in the first 800. So we hope everyone likes those, and we'll be communicating on how to get those.
That sounds good. All right. Well, and I just have to say, I went out for a run in this hoodie, and it was, it's been what, 29, 30 degrees out, and I was really warm. So this is a great option. I really appreciate the fact that you all came up with these nice warm sweatshirts in technical fabric and in a color that I can be seen, even though I wear my lights when I'm out when it's a little bit dark. All right, so we're going to answer some questions. First of all, can we discuss the difference between training on pavement versus training on a treadmill for improving pace and mileage and preventing injury? And this is a question for Dr. Stevenson. So in case you weren't paying attention, Dr. Stevenson, training on pavement versus a treadmill and wanting to improve pace and mileage and preventing injury. There's a lot to unpack there, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I would focus on is, when we see some of our overuse injuries, we're talking about it can happen if we're changing rapidly what we're used to. So the course is going to be run outside. I think the goal would be to do the majority of the training outside on concrete to get your body used to that. And as far as the shoe wear goes, that can be different as well too, and that plays a role. So, trying to be consistent. The goal of the program from running standpoint is to do the majority of your running outside. I think there can be some use of treadmill from here to there if there's just a reason you just can't do it. But, look, we can run outside, we layer up, there's clothes that allow us to do that. So I think trying to stay consistent is the most important thing from an injury prevention standpoint.
I think that's great advice. Yeah. And I think we've all gotten a lot tougher during the pandemic. I mean, we've learned that we can be outside in weather that maybe we never would have considered before. But you're right, layer up and maybe run loops over by Seneca Park at first so that you can drop off clothes if you're not sure how much you should be wearing, drop them back in your car, or, run loops around like a couple of miles around your house so that you can kind of learn how to dress for this kind of weather. Because we can do it, guys. All right, so next question, and this one is for Chris. What if we're out of town and can't make the few days to pick up our training gear?
And we'll take care of that. If you're out of town, not available, we can find a way to get it to you, either shipping it to you or having a pickup option for you. So we will take care of that. If you're not available for it, let us know if you can't get it, and we will work to get that to you.
Okay. Dr. Curry, here's a question for you. This is not me saying this. This is one of our viewers right now. I have bad knees. Can I still do this?
You absolutely can still do this. So the most important thing is really working on strength training, right? So there's a reason that you have bad knees, whether it's arthritis or it could just be simple muscle weakness. So building those muscles that help support the knees, working on that quad strength, working on that core strength, working on the hip strength. If you still have pain and still feel like you have lots of knee pain when you're running, get a good physical therapist. So they're worth their weight in gold to help you build that strength, to do it safely. But you can absolutely do it. Doesn't matter if you have bad knees, bad ankles. You can do it if you do it the right way. You follow the training program. You don't increase the mileage too much. Really work on that strength training and try to incorporate that, and stretching. So stretching is really important as well.
Yeah, stretching is so important. Yep. So all right. So you have bad knees. That was great advice. And take it slowly as you work your way up. Both our doctors just gave great advice on how to overcome those kind of issues. All right. Our next question is, and Stephanie, this is for you, and is how do we stay motivated training alone? We're going to learn to be our own most interesting friend, aren't we?
Yeah, and I saw that question on the list of questions, and I had a feeling that was coming to me. It is hard. I understand it's hard, and as I kind of mentioned in the beginning, if you can find a buddy to meet up with and help you stay accountable, whether it's your dog or your best friend or your husband or your wife or your spouse, and if it's somebody obviously outside of your immediate circle, then stay safe doing it. But that always does help. And if you're on your own, I totally get it. I run and bike a lot on my own too. We do have that supportive community on the Facebook page. And I would love to hear from all of you. I would love to see all your selfies. I would love to see your hashtags. Anytime you go out for a run and you're doing something awesome, even on a Wednesday night, post it. Other people are going to be in that community to comment on it and say, good job, way to go, keep it going. And that support and motivation coming from people that you don't even know could really be a good action point for this program.
Yeah, good advice. And I think if you have a friend who you can't meet up with all the time to run with, but you can at least check in with each other, hey, I clicked off my 4-miler today. I feel good, or could have felt better. Dressed too warmly. I mean, just at least to have that kind of motivation, and also it keeps you really kind of honest about doing the work, I guess. All right, thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, I know some people that do little competitions between each other on like who did their run first that day and who went what mileage or what pace. So even little friendly competitions like that might help you out too.
We would never do that, would we, Stephanie?
Oh, never. I'm watching you.
All right. So Chris, this is a question for you again. Will there be water stations during the race?
Yes, we'll still have water stations along the course, but as the theme of the day, things will look a little differently. What we'll be doing is we will be having some self-serve water stations. So we'll have those out there along the course. We are encouraging runners to bring their own water bottles or camel packs or anything like that can be refillable. So we'll also have those, but they will be a little different than they have in previous years, again, to avoid those contact points that aren't necessary in this current situation.
Will there be race pacers this year?
No, not with this model of the race kind of happening over 4 days and people kind of picking when they want to run.
Yeah,
Because we won't have like the corral.
there'll be a lot of pacers.
Yeah, and you won't have your corrals there based off your timing. So
Yeah.
no, unfortunately, we won't be having pacers
All right.
in the program this year.
We'll see them in 2022,
Exactly.
I'm sure.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Will you be posting suggested mileage schedules? Stephanie, I think that's what's in the training program, right?
Yeah, so that's going to be in the training manual, the coveted training manual that everybody loves and follows to a key. It will be available. I believe we're going to post it later today. If not later today, then at least by tomorrow morning. It will be in the Facebook group. It will be at nortontrainingtips.com, in the Facebook page, on the kdf.org website. It's going to be everywhere for downloadable. And also within that manual, there's going to be a one-sheeter easy read. If you're training for the mini, this is what you do for 15 weeks. If you're training for the marathon, this is what you do for 15
Nice.
weeks. Super easy to follow. Post it on your fridge. Add those little check marks each time you do a run.
All right. You know, you guys have this organized so well. I'm really very impressed with how you've been able to shift the way we do all this. And I think it's going to be, there's going to be some parts of this model that I think we should continue on. I like all this kind of virtual sharing of information. It's really cool. All right. But I do like running with people. All right. So thank you so much to all of our panelists and our fantastic audience, you, for submitting your questions. And if we weren't unable to get to your questions, don't worry, because Stephanie's Tuesday Talks, we're going to go into depth in a variety of topics, and probably many of your questions will be answered, or maybe she'll make your questions part of some of her Tuesday Talks too. So, you know, here's the other thing. There's no way that you can get out there and do a great run. At least very few people run barefoot that I know of. So no training plan would be complete without a good pair of running shoes. And this is kind of a treat you can give yourself too. It makes you feel good. So please enjoy this brief video from Swag Sports Shoes highlighting the importance of proper running shoes. And I know you're thinking about this now, how to dress during this colder weather. Take it away.
Welcome to this year's training group for the Norton training program with KDF. We are excited to partner with them again for another fun year. Although this year's kickoff is a little bit different, we're still excited to get out there and see you all run, cheer you on, and support you in this training program. So today we have Swag, who's going to kind of go over some of the importance of good running shoes and where to get fitted and stuff like that.
Hello, I'm Swag Hartel, and I went to Western Kentucky University, and this is a hurdle from my days down there, and I majored in shoe fitting and underwater basket weaving, and I've been selling shoes since 1978, so I have a lot of knowledge of athletic shoes and running shoes especially. And the truth is, if you want to survive the mini marathon and you want to make it, you've got to wear good shoes. This is not a sales pitch, it's the truth. I know that I've survived running for 40 years and I'm still doing well because I always wore comfortable and the right shoes. Now, shoes, you've got to get the right shoes in the right size and get fitted by somebody who knows what they're doing, because it doesn't matter how good a shoe you get, the size is critical. You've got to get the right size, and all shoes fit different, so it's very important to fit them, to get fitted and get the right thing for you. And there's shoes made for different kinds of runners. There's shoes made for big runners, light runners, flat feet, high arch feet. And the most critical thing about running is your footwear. You can do about all the fancy gear. You don't have to have all the best clothes out there. You can just put on a pair of old cotton sweats if that's what you want. But your shoes, if you don't wear good shoes, you might make it 1 year, but you won't certainly be doing it for a few more years. Anyway, I hope you glean some wisdom from my education at WKU and shoe fitting, and best of luck. The mini marathon is the race in Louisville, and I hope you make it.
All right, so like he said, with shoes, we have a few options here. We have like a neutral cushion shoe and then a moderate stability shoe, just for you to see kind of the difference of a good quality shoe. But these two shoes are made for two different runners, so that's why it is important to go to your local running store and get fitted for a good pair. Lainey now is going to be talking about gear and how to properly dress for training in the colder weather or even in some of the warmer weathers, but it's very important to have the right pieces, because if you overdress or you put on a ton of layers, then that's not going to be as comfortable. So she's going to give us some tips on how to like properly dress for colder weather.
Yeah, so a good tip is always to dress as if it's 10 degrees warmer. So you're gonna, as you start to run or walk, you're gonna get hot. And so you wanna make sure you don't have on too many layers so that you sweat so much to where you get cold. So it's always good to go with the base layer, just something like this. And then one of the most undervalued or valued pieces of apparel is a vest. If you have a vest and a nice base layer, you can generally go down to like 20-30 degrees depending on how cold natured you are. But having a moisture wicking piece that's on your skin will pull that moisture away to keep that cold sweat off of you. And then you have gloves, which are very important, keeping those fingers warm. If you can keep your hands, your head, and your feet warm, then you're going to be pretty good throughout the run. And these have that reflective piece, but also has that mitt to make your hands warmer if you're really cold natured, but you can pull it up and put it behind if you start to get warm. And then for ladies, run bras, they're important. Come and get fitted, get sized for the right one for you. It really makes a tremendous difference. And then socks. You might think you can just go with regular cotton socks, but really cotton is rotten. You want to go with something that's synthetic, that has that moisture wicking properties to pull that moisture away, because the cotton holds moisture to your feet, causes frictions, which in turn causes blisters. So you can get some still that have really great cushion, or if you want a thinner sock, you can do that too.
So that's a few things. And one thing about training in the morning or at night right now is it's pretty dark. So make sure you're getting those reflective pieces. That's why we kind of pulled some of our nightlife gear here, some of the bright stuff, is so that cars can see you. Because just because you can see them doesn't mean they see you. So there's different vests or lights, or these gloves are reflective, but make sure that you're doing your part to be visible, because we want to make sure that everyone is able to get out and have a safe and healthy run or walk. So thank you all for listening to us for this. We are excited to, like I said, partner with KDF and Norton Training for another exciting year with this KDF race. So have a great week, training, all of that, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right, thank you guys, and don't forget, cotton is rotten. Once again, we'd like to thank you and our medical experts and our training professionals, as well as our title sponsor, Norton Sports Health, and contributing sponsors, Swag Sport Shoes and Humana, and our media sponsor, 99.7 DJX. But yeah, we really want to thank you for tuning in and helping us kick off this KDF event right now, because it's going to be great. We're going to pull through, and we're really going to have a good time out there this year training. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you out on the roads training, particularly when it gets to be a little bit warmer. So don't forget about our Tuesday night informational talks with Stephanie. For more information on the entire program, visit the website at www.derbyfestivalmarathon.com and join the official Facebook page, nortontrainingtips.com. That's really important. Even if you haven't ever done that before, that's a really good motivator too, because it's keeping you constantly aware of the program. By the way, a recording of today's program will be emailed out along with a link to this year's training manual. Both the manual and the recording can also be found on our website and on the Facebook page. So lots of great ways to stay connected as we all train together safely outside and make it to that finish line together in April, but separately. We look forward to seeing you at our first Tuesday talk with Stephanie Fish next Tuesday, January the 19th. And remember, those talks are at noon. So thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck out there. Go get them.